I'm
Okay,
ready.
awesome. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the, which number are we at, Breeze? Seeing as you keep count. 62nd?
62nd, yes.
We're at the 62nd Whaleshares Creation Show. Seems like a lot, but I say that every week. Glad to have you here, some of you anyway. It's not a huge crowd this week, but I'm always happy to see familiar faces. There's my post, excellent. Okay, so this week, I've got some scribble coins to give out. So what we're going to do is throughout the show, there's 500 to give out. I'm going to ask 10 questions throughout the show, and if you win, Cotrin will send them to you. And it won't be like when I send them, which is like a week or 2 weeks late, and you have to hassle me loads of times. Cotrin, being highly efficient, is going to send them, I think, pretty much instantly. Is that right, Cot? Can you actually do it during the show?
Yeah, I can do it during the show, or after.
Okay, maybe just after then. But let's say if you win a prize, you won't have to wait so long. So that's a good thing. But first of all, anyway, so 50 scribble coins gives you an upvote, probably about 100 is like, gives you like 125, 130, I think, at a high level. So it's like 65 or 50. So it's a pretty decent addition to your post that we're going to give out. I'm also going to tell you about something about the Scribble Guild project that's going on that you hear about each week. So hopefully it's not too boring for you. But it's something that benefits Whaleshares even if you're not interested in writing as well. So that's a good thing. But why don't we start off with a first curated post and go to Linda?
Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. Nobody saw that.
Who was that? Who was that?
Nothing. That was not something you were supposed to.
Someone playing crypto grind memes.
No, this was about a comment. Anyway. This is my post, and I chose it because warm things and cold time, they go greatly together. Also, I really love the colors, and I would have made these into socks because socks are the best thing in the winter, but scarves are not bad either. What really attracted me was the yarn colors, that they were the header image first. That's why I clicked on the post, and second of all because they're such nice colors together. And it's a post about making a scarf and drawing patterns and coming up with your own thing, and you can even see a little bit of it down in the pictures. So guys, check it out. It's not a long post, but I think it's very nice and crafty and comfy.
Absolutely, I like it a lot. I actually know how to knit scarves, and when I came to the United States, I actually had like a store that I would sell scarves at on what's called Etsy for a little while I was waiting for my work permit. So yeah, this is definitely pretty cool, and I like the patterns that she makes herself. This is something I did as well, so definitely fuck yeah to that.
Yeah, it's really creative and pretty. It's not something that I would have thought you'd choose, but it's a nice put together creative post, which is really great. I'm not a big fan of wool, but then again, I don't get cold here, so.
It's the best thing you have when it's cold. You need socks.
I think it's a cozy looking post. It's got a nice winter feel. It's comforting. I wanted to ask Cotrin about knitting scarves and things. Is that a thing they force you to learn at Russian school?
Yes.
Actually, I don't think knitting was a part of like what we did in school. In school, we had like this class for girls, and it was sewing, like on a sewing machine. It wasn't knitting for some reason, so we did some sewing for a few years. knitting is something that both of my grandmas did, and like I as a kid was just picking it up from them. Um, yeah, not from school, but at the house.
We had to learn it in school. We had to learn all of the styles of. I don't even know them in English, but we had to learn like 5 or 6 styles of different things you could.
Yeah, when I was younger, they took it out of the curriculum, I think in 95 when the government changed. But we used to have a class called Home Economics, and that was just based on life skills for women, which was, all the things like your needlework, cooking, things like that.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. We still have that in schools.
it's strange that you needed to knit scarves though in South Africa, because I would have thought like life skills for women would still be, from what you said, killing snakes and stuff.
Oh no, this
Not
is
the
this
case.
is this is life skills for women, That's technically like the man's job to defend the household and shit. No, they had workshops, classes, I can't
Woodwork, right?
remember. Yeah, where they did woodwork and basic mechanical uh, um, education. I don't know what it's called.
There's also, so I always hijack these posts back to questions for Cotrin about Russia. I saw some clips of Russian primary school children, infant school children, so 3-year-olds being taught to run into the snow in their underpants and roll around in the snow and then get warm inside. Is that a thing you had to do when you were young, or is that a new thing they do?
To be honest, I never had to do that. The only thing like I had to do in kindergarten, like whenever you come in the morning, like or like get brought there by your parents, they would just like make you do some exercises, maybe like I don't know, maybe some sit-ups and just like running, like for I don't know, I don't remember how long it lasted, maybe like 30, 40 minutes. That was outside. In the wintertime, it was inside. And the part that I'm from, it doesn't really get that much snow. It's usually warm, and like the coldest I've ever remembered it was like -10 Celsius. So like, and it was the coldest like throughout my entire life, mind you. So like it was one year really cold for me. So yeah, where I'm from, winters are usually very mild, and we didn't have to do anything extreme.
Okay, so it's maybe I saw footage from like Siberia or something. Okay. All right, that makes sense. I like to add my knowledge of Russian culture. Anyway, lovely post, a good choice. Grace Hills has asked me to clarify the difference between Scribble Guild and the Beast, or the crossover, or how they're related. Okay, so the Beast is a project that Mirj runs that sort of phases in and out, and it's a way to get more engagement on Whaleshares, but it's not specific to writing, I don't think. But I did. I crossed over with it the Laureate Scribble Guild project. Now, Scribble Guild itself is something just for writers, and it's how can I describe? In fact, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you, because this is one thing I wanted to tell you about. I'm going to show you that we have made a website. So now, no need to upvote that. I know I put some of my own stuff. I would feel guilty if you did. So don't upvote it. But this is a post announcing our Scribble Guild website, because we're going to try and be a hub between different platforms. So we'll have a presence on Whaleshares. We just set up a Steemit account. Might be other things in the future, like if Dan Larimer builds Mios, we might have something there. But we're primarily based on Whaleshares. But we've also got Facebook, Twitter, going to have YouTube and other things. So it's a cross-platform hub where we try and reward and help writers, basically. Thank you, Crystal. You're the nicest liberal I know. We've gone for a Harry Potter aesthetic. You can see in that picture there. In fact, I've actually got the proper website here, so I'm just going to show you. And the idea, one of the things we're going to do, for example, this website's only a few days old, so we'll add a lot more to it. One of the things is onboarding new users, because the sign-up system at present for people is atrociously difficult. If you're a crypto noob, if you try and get someone who's 50 years old and doesn't know what Bitcoin is to join, it's an absolute nightmare. So to make it easier, we're going to have a button at the bottom of here, and then if we invite people, and initially it will just be people we know who can write quite well or active in various writing communities, we can sign them up and give them straight away a Whaleshares account. And if this works, if we can get a smooth system, we could export it to the rest of Whaleshares. You know, if we can get something that just makes onboarding a lot easier, then this is something we could roll out to everywhere else. So hopefully adding value to Whaleshares with it. But I just thought I'd show you that. And on that note, if anyone's got any questions, let me know. And if not, we can go on to our next post, and then I've got more to tell you later on. No questions. The silence was deafening. Oh, are these questions coming? No questions. Okay. Well, we could have our first quiz question. Yeah, let's have our first quiz question. Okay. So you type this in text, and I'm going to pick the best one, and the best one wins 50 scribble coins. And Cotrin will send it to you promptly. Hello, be here now. Nice to see you. And the question is, I like or dislike Whaleshares because. You can answer that question. In fact, no, think about it before you answer, and let's let Cotrin do her first post, and then type your answer afterwards. So you can get your post prepared.
Okay, this is my first post. And then I picked it even today. So if you can see, it has a payout of pretty much 0 point something Whaleshares, which is nothing. So I thought that it was pretty cool that this post didn't have any payouts except my vote. So it makes it even more valuable, such a hidden gem. But okay, this is me being stupid. But yeah, this person, Aroskan Mango, this person, I met them last year also through this creation show that I was speaking posts on Steemit. And this person just made an account on Whaleshares, I think a week ago or something like that. And yeah, I thought it was so cool because it is a talented photographer and also a musician. If you guys want, I can drop his intro post, or maybe you can just like go to his page and check it out. Like he wears many. How do you say it? Wears many what shirts or trades? Does anybody know what's the expression exactly?
A man of many talents.
Yes.
Or jack of all trades or something. I like that though. He wears many shirts.
He wears many hats.
Yes, Bruce, thank you. I was wondering, I was just like, I know that it's something like from a wardrobe, but I forgot what it was. But yeah, anyway, like this post is in Spanish. I usually do not pick posts that are written in a language that I don't understand. But this one really spoke to me because it's about an old record store in Venezuela. It's called Discos Ruiz, and it was first opened in 1968, and it's still functional, like until now. It's still working and has a store open. It only had two owners. I think that the second owner purchased the store like 10 years late after it was opened and owns it up until today. He purchased it with a large collection of records already, and today it has about 40,000 vinyls and all kinds of music genres that you can think of. But the most popular ones are salsa and rock. So I don't know, very interesting. Very interesting that so many people mainly like those two types of music. But yeah, apparently the the story is popular among Russians and Japanese people. This is what Roskan Manga tells us in his post. So yeah, this is about this post, and I really loved the pictures in it. Kind of made me think. I mean, not think, but kind of made me feel like I time traveled a bit. The only thing I think I was not very happy about is that the records they were just like piled up, and if I went into the store, it would be so hard for me to browse because they're not organized, but just like piles of records, kinda. I don't know if you guys heard or not, but there's this website, Discogs. You can list all of your records on that website, and not necessarily to for sales, which you can do, of course, but also just like to catalog your collection. But I think somebody has to tell them if they don't do it yet, they should probably list all of this collection on Discogs and try to get more sales that way.
Well, this way, there's a chance that there's a record in there somewhere that's worth a lot of shit ton of money right now.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I thought too, because such an old store, they probably have a lot of first presses, and um, those are very expensive. I think he Aroskan Manga mentions one of the I think it was a tape actually that he was talking about that it was being sold for $100 in the store as he walked in. So yeah, I don't know, could not have been a tape because I Google translated the text. I don't speak Spanish, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Really nice post, in my opinion.
I really like this post as well. And the photos give it that feel where you're almost there in the shop. And I can just imagine, when you walk into an old bookstore, you get a certain smell. I love that smell. And I can just imagine that the record store has that unique old paper kind of smell to it. And I agree with Linda. What she said is it might be very unorganized to have to go through the records like that if you are looking for something specific. But I think you've got a much higher chance of coming across a gem or something that you weren't expecting to find, or a little hidden treasure or a forgotten treasure, in this way, because you kind of forced to go through a lot. So it's a wonderful post, and I wish I could actually just go to that store. I've got quite a few records lying around, and I'm not really a collector. It's just old records that kind of got trapped in time in the house. Um, but it would be interesting to go through a collection of that size. I would just camp out in the store for like a month.
Yeah, for sure. There's actually like I feel like something I don't know. I cannot think of a word right now, but can like maybe something special like when it comes to digging through old stuff, like rediscovering things or just learning about something for the first time. But I just like it's like uh, interesting feeling. I cannot think of the better word to describe it than you do that, like kind of in the kind of stores or maybe like in grandma's attic.
I've had a look at this, and it's got a lovely old-fashioned sort of vinyl vibe to it. But the one thing I don't really get is the attraction of vinyl. Well, maybe because I'm not primarily a music person. But could you explain to me what the big deal is with records rather than just having the music on a? I don't know. I grew up with cassettes, and I like those just as much. Someone tell me why vinyl is so good.
Oh, I don't know for other people, but I really like the feel of records and putting them on a record player and listening to them. It wasn't until I came to the United States actually that I developed this love for records. And there's just like something about them. Like you take this record with like two fingers out of the sleeve, you put it on your turntable, pick up the needle and place it, and just like I don't know like how other people's checkers players are, but ours like you just push a button and it starts spinning, and we have it hooked up to this surround sound, and just like you hear everything. It just like there's something good about it.
Okay. Servo or Nolo thinks a warmer sound, and you can scratch as well. You ruin the record that way, don't you? But anyway, okay, I sort of get it. Yeah, it's a lovely post. Is it? Did you say it's Venezuela?
Yep.
Maybe we should do a Whalefest in Venezuela, because we probably have about 10,000 people turning up, because there's a lot of
Yeah,
Venezuelans now.
that's not a.
And it
I
was
mean,
cheap.
it would be
It was
cheap,
cheap.
but there are unrest there. That's the only problem.
I bet we could get a nice bit. And it would help their economy, wouldn't it? All these people turning up.
Well, that wouldn't be bad.
In fact, talking about Whalefest possibilities, there are a few, weren't there? I know that some different projects were being discussed. Linda, did you want to talk about your one?
Well,
Maybe?
we haven't. We just have set up our page, and we have just, we're just figuring out the details of it. But yeah, we want to make one nature festival in my country, in Latvia. In my countryside, I have quite a lot of land there. Do some tents, some barbecues, and like an outdoorsy thing, not in the city, but like something similar to music festivals. But we're still figuring everything out. Just like we talked yesterday about it, and we shouldn't promise anything yet when we haven't figured it out. No promises before you figure these things out.
So is this a
It's
nature fun, or a naturist, as in nudist one?
we can make a corner for nudists. There's enough space for a corner of nudists. If you're interested, Nick, I can do that just for you.
Okay, interesting. It's
No,
good we're hearing all these.
closer to nature and intense and
Yeah, it sounds good. It's good.
pagan party, pagan.
It's good we're hearing all these different plans, because it shows the enthusiasm people have got. And that leads me back to my question, which lets you win 50 Scribble coins, which is I like or dislike Whaleshares because, and you can put your answer up in chat, type it up quickly. You had some time to think about it, and pick the best one, and then they get 50 Scribble coins. Good preparation, Father. Okay, nice. AJ's got a shorter answer. It will be big like Facebook. Father to be. I like Whaleshares because it has made me explore avenues of my life that life itself has not presented to me. As deep as Nick's tea. Nice. I like Whaleshares for several reasons. I like people here. Also here I feel that my art is appreciated. I found this place when I was starting to doubt my art, so the fact that I'm actually growing here is awesome.
Now I want
Nice.
to see somebody who doesn't like Whaleshares.
It's a big ask, isn't it? Because even if they might not want to say it. Okay, we've got 3 good answers so far. Are people still typing? I like Whaleshares because the community is and always has been awesome since the start. I think that's a good answer. It's true. It's a friendly place generally.
We have
Also, that's the only place. Can I talk, or?
Because it's you, Sever, of course.
It was the only place where, it was the second server I joined, and I could disrupt or interrupt a show, and that was awesome.
you could be as Dutch as you wanted about it. No, but that's fair enough. It's quite like informal here and free for all.
I remember when Freedom started the show, you could just say something and have an opinion, share it. Everybody would listen to it. Everybody could share their opinion, And it was the second server I joined after Paul, and the Paul server, everything was um, restricted, a lot of rules and stuff. And the open that was always open, and everybody could just join and speak up their mind. That was awesome. It's very free and open, and that really was when I thought, hey, this is awesome. So I never left.
Okay, that's good to hear. All right, so I've looked at these. There's one answer from Ayuga. I like Whaleshares because people on this platform help each other, and it's great. That's a nice answer as well. I think I'm going to have to make the winner Father to Be, because he's said something a little bit profound, which is that it's helped him expand as a person. And he's also complimented my tea drinking as well. Yes, no, but I think this is a nice answer. It has made me explore avenues of my life that life itself has not presented to me. I say I've done that as well, because I was quite cynical at the start of Steemit, thinking, this will be good in a way, but blogging, what can you get with blogging? But it's made me do things that I was surprised about. So yeah, Father to Be wins that one. So Cochrane, at some point later today, you'll send Father to Be 50 scribble coins, and we will move on. Okay, the next question, which you can answer in a bit, will be from the team of curators, that's the four of us, who would you like to house share with and why? So think about that one whilst we go to Breeze's first post.
What was that question? Who would you like to have what with?
Of the four of us, curators, so me, you, Cochrane and Linda, who would you like to house share with and why?
What now?
House share with.
House share.
House share.
House share. Okay.
Anyway, don't type the answer yet. Just think about it. And Breeze, you do your first. No, house share. You know when you share a house with someone, so you don't have to pay for a whole house. We call that house share. So you have to pick
like
of
a
the
roommate.
four of us who you would like to.
Oh, okay.
House share. Not a roommate, not anything else. A house share. It's not a hard word. Hold on, I can type it. Oh, Be Here Now has done it. Yeah, don't answer yet, JJ. Come on, save your answer for a bit. You can come up with a better answer than that. Anyway.
Okay, so here's my first selected post, and I do always try to look at the post objectively when I do choose one, because like I said in last week's show, I don't think it should be based on personal preference or opinion, instead on the quality and content of the post as a whole. But this one, I can honestly say that I made an emotional choice when I chose this post, which is very unlike me, but it happened. I'll deal with the consequences of that later. And it was just a very simple photography post, and it was pictures that was taken during a trip to Western Ukraine, and it's all about abandoned houses. And just looking at these houses now, this is something in South Africa that we're starting to see a lot more often. And the causes for abandonment is not always pleasant. But looking at these very rugged shed-like houses, and it just brought up a sense of what these people, what their reasons was for abandoning a place that they once called home. And it invoked a lot of thought for me. But I love the pictures. I love the fact that it looked so abandoned and so alive at the same time, and the history behind it like fascinates me. And they also state in the post that at some stage they tried to locate some of the owners of these properties but weren't able to do that, which just adds a little bit more mystery to it. And then the scenic backdrops of the photos, in the photos of these houses that was taken, it just looks like the kind of land that could be worked and host a constructive family, and it's not. And yeah, like I said, the mystery behind it, I think, just caught me. So I really enjoyed this post.
I think it's the stories that that could have been told. There's stories behind each and every property there.
when I see that house, it makes me feel like I'm a 15-year-old, and a bit of my brain wonders how easily I could burn it down and how amazing it would feel to burn it down for about half an hour until I felt guilty. Not that I ever have burnt down a house, but I used to want to when I was younger. Just think it would be such an awesome thing to do. And that one looks like it would burn so well, don't you think? Well, that would.
My 15-year-old self is telling me to go explore and find hidden treasures that the people abandoned right before they had to flee the house. Stash something under the floorboard to come back for it later. That's what my 15-year-old tells me. Strange, Nick. You strange.
Has nobody ever thought about wanting to burn a house down before? Just create a massive fire? Maybe it's just me then. I don't know.
I don't know. All the houses that I've ever wanted to burn down had people in it, and the people was mostly the reason for wanting to burn it down. So no, not an abandoned house.
Okay, so what I mean by it is, for example, if most of the population of the world were to die out, let's say like there's only 0.5% of the people left, there's hardly anyone around. You have to travel especially to see people. It's just empty. Once a year on my birthday, I'd find a big old knackered house that wasn't worth living in. And for my birthday treat, instead of like a birthday cake with candles, I'd burn it down like a bonfire. I'd sit there and have a picnic and watch it. And that to me would be great fun.
You do know that fire catches fast. You might burn with it. It's a strong possibility.
No, I'd pick a detached one that was derelict. I wouldn't burn down a whole street, but maybe I'm saying too much here. I don't know.
We have this problem in Latvia. Every summer, somebody decides to burn down some grass, and every summer there are houses that are accidentally burned down because the fire got out of hand.
Like looking at that house, you can't renovate it. It's beyond that. It would cost, it's a write-off in terms of cost. It's all collapsed. So you've got to pull it down. So why not torch the bastard and get some fun out of it?
Sure.
But the view, the environment, it's beautiful.
Yes, perhaps you're right.
I like the hills in the last pictures. Those are really nice.
No, and Nick, if it makes you feel any better, you know that I'm a little pyromaniac, and I'll help you if that's the case. I'll help you burn shit down if you want to.
It sounds like fun. We'd make a good team doing this. Any thoughts? You've gone quiet.
Sorry, I was replying to a text message. I like this post. Like, I haven't really seen as many abandoned buildings where I'm from in Crimea, but then in Western Ukraine, I kind of thought that they wouldn't have so much abandoned stuff. But I can see why it is there. Probably those houses and like the village was too remote from the cities, and there wasn't any means that people could just like travel comfortably, like to get stuff that they needed for their home, or just to go to school or something. So maybe this is why those properties got abandoned. I really have no idea, but a year ago, then I went to Crimea, and me and my cousin we took a trip to Ukraine, and um, so when we were there, we also saw a lot of abandoned stuff, but it was mainly Soviet structures. Like there was, I think, some uh, fabric factory that was abandoned, and like I thought we were kind of like sort of in the middle of the city, not probably downtown, but not the outskirts either. And like seeing like abandoned factory with all kinds of like weed growing there. It was pretty weird, and like the windows busted out. So I kind of see why it is there. So kind of surprising, but also not really.
Okay, awesome. Anyway, well, that was a good post, Breeze. Well done. Let's go to this question then that I primed you for. If you had to share a house with one of us for, who would it be and why? Type your answers now, and if I select yours, you get 50 scribble points. Still, you've got to say why you want to live. Okay, that's a good answer. So,
Okay. Okay, sir.
good answer.
I see. I see how it is.
Just honest. Just honest.
Because I only have one bedroom. You know, there are like 3 women. You can always take all of us.
Okay, some nice answers coming through. So Crystal wants to live with Breeze because she likes her accent. Grace Hills also wants to live with Breeze because of her sense of humour and has enjoyed hearing her speak on the Promote Your Post show. Sarah wants to live with Linda because he's only got one bedroom. Father-to-be wants to live with Breeze as well, but he's changed his mind in case she burns it down. And he's going to say Cotrin so they could play computer games. Jack likes Cotrin because she likes his not safe for work art. Ayuga likes Cotrin because she's always in touch. That's a cryptic one.
I like that one.
Guy has chosen Breeze. Woodsy has chosen Breeze because of fire. 5 Footprints, Cotrin because of the food porn. I know well that nobody's chosen me, but that's fair enough. I didn't expect you to. So how about, instead of me choosing, why don't you three because I'm obviously not involved in this. Thank you, Bug. Thank you. Are you choosing me as well? That's nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm choosing.
Ah, my attic. Yeah, my chilly
I
attic.
love your attic. I'm living with you. Also, Katie cooks perfectly. I'm pretty sure you're a package deal.
And AS61 wants to. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Interesting. Am I interesting? Maybe.
Are we supposed to pick two?
No, the three of you between you need to pick one, the best answer.
I must say, Sir Rose was really funny. That was really funny. However, that's about me, so I'm gonna choose Catherine because she's always in touch. Ayuga wrote that because I really like.
Okay. Breeze, your choice?
This might be a little bit of preferential treatment, but Grace Hills gave a really good answer. And I'm fascinated by my sense of humor as well, so I enjoyed that one.
Okay. And Catherine?
I have to pick Ayugam because she says that I'm always in touch. I'm trying to think about it in Russian. What would it mean in Russian if that was the, but I cannot think of anything and I'm so confused and puzzled by it. That's why I have to pick it.
Okay, I found that an intriguing answer. I wondered if it was a Russianism, always in touch. But anyway, so Ayuga wins that one. But so she gets 50 scribble coins, so she'll need to send you her BitShares address. Why don't we say Grace Hills wins as well? Because I like Grace Hill's answer about Breeze. So there's 2 winners this time. Each of them get 50 scribble coins, which Cotrin will send to you. And we're now at the halfway point. I could ask another question. Let me make up another question, which is, seeing as I wasn't the most popular answer, if you had to live with me, Nick Flossers, what would be the worst part about it? And you can think of that answer
Hair everywhere.
whilst we're doing something else. So prepare your answer for about 2 or 3 minutes' time. And in that time, I'm going to tell you, Linda, do you want to tell people about your show? Linda's got a show planned. It's going to start fairly soon. She's just got to get her mental health straight and read about 10 books. And after she's done that, she's going to have a show on Scribble Guild while
Put
still
that
staying in
back
this
a
show.
couple of more weeks. My mental state is just going downhill, so yay
Okay.
me. Yeah, it's gonna be a curation show with a twist. We're gonna promote, well, we are going to promote each other, not ourselves. That's the base idea. Plus, there's gonna be a little bit of writing involved in it because it's Scribble Guild and it's about writing. But yeah, I want to make a show where we do post promotion, but we find each other posts. Like, you find somebody's post and you think like this is undervalued. I'm gonna present it, and you know community involvement, more. I guess it's kind of a circle jerk because you're promoting somebody else and everybody upvotes them. Okay, I'm gonna just.
No, I think that's good. So what we need to do is, as a community, we need to rally around Linda and hassle her each week to get her books read, to get her mental health sorted. And as soon as she's done that, and she's a proper person again, her show can start, and that will be awesome. There's also going to be another show, just a general one, which will be a bit more about brainstorming what's going on in Scribble Guild, what you want from it, and a bit more sort of literary based. And that might have a different cast of people coming in. Anyone who wants to talk about their work or anything can come on as well. So that will start soon. I will start that off, but I'm hoping other people will do it in the end because you don't want to keep hearing from me. I'm sick of hearing from me now. So you must have had me up to here. But anyway, that's another show that's going to start. So 2 shows in Scribble Guild. There could be a third one, which will have to be me because it's interviews with people. But again, we'll get the first one up and running, and then we'll interview. We've got the filmmaker who's going to be interviewed. We've got someone from a creative writing school who's going to hopefully talk about how to get noticed, that kind of thing. So all this coming up soon on Scribble Guild. But anyway, enough about that. Let's go back to the question: what would be the worst part of living with me for 50 Scribble coins?
I'm telling you, it's the hair.
The question is, if you had to live in a house share with me, Nick Flossers, what would be the worst part? Your death.
Yeah, that's what's happened to me. Tarot card reading. I still am looking over my shoulder and waiting for all my.
Okay, so Five Foot Princess's death. Would you anticipate me killing you, or your own suicide? Do you think? You need to clarify your answer. And be here now. Tarot card reading. Yeah, I can imagine that might be difficult if it's like 5 a.m. and you want to go to sleep, and I say no, I must tell you your future.
Your fortune future.
Sabo says living with newlyweds is horrible. It makes you feel like a third wheel. Yeah, that could be an issue. My teapot. I do drink a lot of tea. Be here now. That's true. JJ, not falling in love with the food of your wife. Oh, okay. So you think you would like it or you wouldn't like it? I have to clarify that. No, you'd be at my house, Sebo. We've got loads of bedrooms here. JJ would love the food. We've got an attic. We've got 4 bedrooms. We've got outbuildings as well. All sorts of stuff. Any more answers?
And he has like an outdoor gym almost thingy. Well, it's a punching bag. You freeze to death in it in winter, but you freeze to death in his house anyways in winter. That's the worst thing, freezing to death.
Oh yeah, we don't have a TV, Grace Hill, so you wouldn't ever be able to watch a movie.
You don't have a TV?
Nope.
What a pity.
It's yeah. Well, you can use up so much time, I suppose, can't you? But anyway, any no TV. No, and the thing is, because there's no TV, I'd sit down next to you and force you to talk to me as well. So this could be another issue. But anyway, any more answers before I pick a winner? I don't have a ring in my belly button, Grace Hills. I have a marble instead. Bug's not going to enter. Okay. Well, I'm going to give the prize to yeah, Meghan Marble, JJ Hemp, because he said something nice about my wife's cooking. So I thought that was very sweet of him. So he gets 50 scribble coins. So you can deal with Cotrin to get those. And let's go on to the next bit of curation. So Linda, we'll go back to your second post. Oh, and Grace Hills, you did win something before. You've already won 50 coins because you won in the previous round, a joint winner. Anyway, Linda, back to you.
Wait, what?
Your second post.
Oh, so
It's okay.
right from. Sorry, I was checking out what's happening in the general thing. Uh, I saw this writer last week. She's kind of dark about how she writes, even if the idea is something I agree with. She writes about us, about capturing every moment, and the way people do it is with phones. And when you go to an event and you tape it, you do a video on it, and you don't really. I've caught myself doing that like years ago, and I stopped doing it. For example, when I go to a concert now, I will never pull out my phone more than 2 times to snap a picture or something. But there are those, sometimes we get stuck in trying to capture every moment in our lives, which we can. And the thing is, you enjoy things in the moment. If you truly get lost in doing things, you enjoy them. But if you just make pictures of things, they are fleeting. Of course, I also saw the comment section. Somebody said that the pictures of their children are something that they hold very dear, which I agree totally with, because children grow so fast, and the memories, for example, the memories I have so many pictures of my family, and I agree that this is something you should always capture and hold dear. But on the other hand, when we go to events and we just spend our time in these events looking at screens and making videos of the events, we lose a very huge part of these things, I think. And I really like the post that it touched on it, even if it is darker than usual. Sometimes dark is good, sometimes I'm in darkness.
You in darkness, Linda, did you say?
I was being the drama queen. Never mind me.
I've just scanned through that. I do agree with the point about cameras, though. If something interesting happens, you see that very few people in the world actually experience it. Everybody's trying to record it on their phone, point something at it and record it. And you even see it in public now. If someone's making a spectacle of themselves, rather than ignoring it or watching it or something, everybody wants to record it, which is, I find, vulgar, unpleasant.
Yeah, and the thing
So
is,
yeah, I
you
agree with
don't
this.
watch the video afterwards, maybe once, and then you forget about it. It's like watching the real thing. I mean, if you're talking about the spectacle part, which is, that is something else altogether. But those, for example, I remember I probably made like one or two videos when I was like 18, when I went to a concert, and you know, I didn't even watch those videos, but I made them, and I lost more than I gained from making these videos, in the sense that I didn't really truly enjoy the performance.
Yeah, I think the good thing is that someone else there will always be someone that's going to record it. So, you can always find it somehow. Spending time
That's
with your
exactly what she.
Yeah, spending time with your family, you're around them a lot more than being out at an event or whatever. And when you are behind the lens, you don't get to share the moment. Um, so I agree with that, and it's such a lovely post.
Katrin, she's probably texting again.
No, what is it?
Did you have some thoughts on the post?
Yeah, I remember this person from the time you picked up their first post and they just joined the platform. I remember their username. I don't know why I remember them all. I'm gonna forget it all. But anyways, I remember that you did pick them up for creation. They were just joined the platform, and this kind of like dark prose that they were mainly writing. I'm pretty sure it was Nick. But anyways, capturing every moment, I have to agree. It depends on what it is that you want to capture. Sometimes you don't really want to be there and just like don't feel like socializing. I guess then in that moment, I think it's okay to try and document it instead of talking to people. And then it comes to concerts. I have to agree with Linda that I used to try to record videos of like my favorite songs being played live and stuff. Then I'm at the concert, but now I don't really do that anymore because it's much more important to me to just stay there and enjoy it while it lasts. So yeah, this is my thoughts on the post.
Okay, good, good. I always feel like a teacher calling you out at the back of the room when I say, what are your thoughts? But anyway, yeah, interesting. Okay, right. Next question. This one, you can enter as many times as you want. I would like you to describe your sex life by using the title of a film, any film. By using the title of a film. Deep Rising, okay, quite good. Oh, please, is that bad?
No, just diverse.
Oh, wow. Well, anyway, I'm sure of the three of you, you're the good. I don't know who the bad is, and I hope the ugly isn't around for too much longer, but come on, people, you can think of more than that. Bugs is quite good. American Pie, is that yours, Katrin? If you thought of it, it must have to be yours. You married an American, didn't you?
Yep, but I don't fuck pies.
Okay. Anyone else? Wow, several, impressive. JJ, is that really even a film? Get Wet and Wild in Vegas? I have not heard of that film yet. Several says Iron Man. Bugs says Event Horizon or Heat. Cotrin is American Pie. Breeze is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Father to Be is Deep Rising.
What was the question?
You know, Amy, you need to describe your sex life using the title of a film.
Wait, let me.
I'm
Is
just
there a
putting.
desert name?
Sorry, Linda. I'm just putting mine in for. I'm just putting mine in for entertainment purposes only. I'm not entering, guys. So, but Mating Habits of the Earthbound Human. Has anyone ever seen that? It's quite an old movie. It's hilarious.
Still, I don't think you should be allowed to enter this one because you shocked me a few months ago, and I'm still not really over it. Any more entries? I thought we'd get more than this. No more entries. Titanic, fiery footprints. That's impressive. Atlantics.
Titanic. Yeah, she swallowed semen on the first voyage.
Any more? Aquaman.
Still the same question. Do you always do it in water?
I'm surprised that no one said Shaft.
People are perhaps still thinking. Anyway, okay. Snakes on a Plane is quite good, but I struggle to think how that would apply to a real sex life. I still think
Maybe in all his musical travels, he joined the Mile High Club. You never know. Oh,
true.
I know.
Should be.
See, that confirms that my answer has to be true now.
All right. Well, I think we've that on its course. I thought by far the best answer was Father to Be, which was Deep Rising. So he's going to win that one as well. So Cotrin.
My vote.
So that's another one for Father to Be. So is that 5 prizes now of 50?
Wait, what?
Have you got all the prizes?
I sent 50 to Father to Be, and I sent 50 to Ayuga.
And what about Grace Hills and who else has won? Hold on. We missed
Father
out
to Be
someone.
again.
Father to Be again, and Grace Hills also.
They also won 50 points again?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Grace Hills needs to message me his Whaleshares address, and then I will make it happen.
Shaving private try.
Okay, so let's keep going. This is proving hard to give away these prizes. Anyway, let's go to another curation post. Cotrin, do you want to do yours?
Sure. Jack sent me his Whaleshares address. If you win anything.
Oh, JJ won something then. Okay, so that's 5 prizes. I think JJ did win. I can't remember what.
Okay, also 50 scribble points.
Yeah, so that's 250 that have gone now. So there's 250 left.
Yep.
But Pot, we need you to do your post, unless Breeze jumps in and does hers.
All right, this is my second pick, and I think like the story about it is kind of interesting. Well, behind this person, well, sort of interesting to me, anyways. So last night when I was picking the post preparation, I was like searching, and then I stumbled on this person's blog, this Tesmophoria blog, and I saw like she had like a few DIY projects and tutorials there, and they were so good. And I was like, oh, I wish I could pick this decoration, but the last post on the blog was already 13 days old, and I was so disappointed that I couldn't select it. And I was like, damn. And then I went to sleep empty-handed, so to speak. I still had to pick another post, and this morning, then I was browsing the platform. I saw a post of hers just pop up in the new page, like the new creative post, and I was like, fuck yeah, like I'm gonna pick it, and I clicked it, and I was not disappointed because it was very detailed tutorial, just like the rest of them. This person doesn't post much at all, and like even though they joined the platform a few months ago, you can see they still don't even have 1,000 whale stake yet. But the posts are like really good. If you go scroll down, you will see that they put a lot of effort into them. But this one is just a tutorial for cover page for a notebook, and this one is called Shabby Chic Style. I had to look it up in Wikipedia. Well, apparently it's just like a form of interior design uh, with with signs of age and wear on items. Even though like the items that you picked from Pinterest, they don't look like they're old or anything like that. They certainly look like they're from the past, sort of to me, anyways. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty cute, like girly style cover for notebook, and the way the post was crafted. This is what I really like about it, and I hope you do too.
It's beautifully put together post, I think.
I like the style of the little thingies, and I like the funny.
Yeah, certainly a lot of effort into this post, eh? Linda, did I interrupt you again? You go all silent and quiet.
No, I was done. It's a recurring issue with both of us. I interrupt you, you interrupt.
I know. It's like our voices just want to be together, you know?
Maybe you two need to have a cat fight sorted out. That would solve things, I think.
Oh, I could never. I would feel too bad kicking Linda's ass.
Well, you wouldn't be able to. You can only kick on my ass.
And so it begins. Challenge accepted. I will mud wrestle you any day.
Nikki would love that. He likes woman Russian wrestling.
Ukrainian, actually. But anyway,
Ukrainian.
moving on. Great post. Very pretty. Cotrin, you always manage to pick these pretty posts. Yeah, this is something for Whalefest. Breeze and Linda having some sort of cat fight. In fact, it could happen. They could have 3 matches. Every Whalefest we have, they have another fight. We could film it. We could make gifs of it.
We
Highlights,
just
all that
no
kind of
no
stuff.
no 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 Nick. We just went through this. We just went through the necessity of living in the moment and not behind the lens. And now you like defying everything you just said. That's way too contradictory for this show.
I don't want to film everything. I just it would be an event. You know, you're allowed to film certain events. So we fly you both in, put you in cages next to each other, get you snarling at each other, and then full on claws and hair pulling cat fight. And then the winner gets some whale shares or something. I don't know. And then we keep doing it every different whale fest. Anyway, okay, sorry, silliness aside. Okay, next question. I might pick a few winners for this because it's going a bit slowly. If you could be an animal, what animal would you be and why? But don't answer yet. Think about it. Think about it. And Breeze is going to do her last post.
The first thing that popped to mind is, I want to be a whale. I want to be a whale on some platform. Anyway, my last post was a very simple introduction post of a new person on Whaleshares that I came across. I feel it's always important to give new people a little bit of exposure on the platform and show them the warm-hearted community that they are about to step into. I think being part of a community, sorry, being part of a community is the first step to success on these platforms. And if someone new steps in that's not involved in the circles, and it's always important to show them a little bit of love and get them to stay, because future growth depends on it. So and for those reasons I chose this post. It was quite straightforward and simple, but straight to the point. So yeah, just wanted to share the love on that one.
Oh, our first posts, those are always the funniest to look back at because you realized, I hope he stays because after a while he'll look back at that first post and it's gonna be like, okay, I've grown on the platform, and I hope he meets some great people along the way because that's the best part.
I like how this person says, "My name is Miguel," with like a small letter, and then he says, "I live in Las Vegas, Fremont Street." The only thing is missing is the house number.
We should ask him. We want his full details and copies of his ID as well.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I think it's always a nice feeling to give your upvote to a new post, to welcome someone, especially to give an award like this.
And also, it's not a very interesting post in itself, other than like Katrin just said. But the person seems to be very interesting. He's been teaching biochemistry for 7 years, as well as a course in statistical analysts for health science for the past 2 years. He's into orchids. So it seems like an interesting person that might be opinionated on a lot of matters, that would be able to, somewhere in the future, once he starts growing and adapting to the platform, kind of have entertaining views on life. And yeah, I think it could get a lot more interesting than his introduction post. But still wanted to share the love.
Okay, good stuff. I like his beard as well. Maybe we should all tell him we like his beard in the comments. I think we're all beard obsessed. Okay, anyway, good choice, Breeze. Right. Okay, so the question, if you could be any animal, what would you be and why? For 50 scribble coins. Okay, clever answer by JJ, who's picked some lyrics from an Iggy Pop song. Okay, another clever answer by Fiery Footprints. Honey badger. See, Breeze talked about these. I'm still not sure these things exist. A raven. And here's a riddle for you, asked by Lewis Carroll. What is the difference between a raven and a writing desk?
One can rave.
I don't know. Nobody. He never answered it. He died before he could answer it for people. So people have been trying to solve it for a long time.
Oh, there's a lot of differences.
Yeah, exactly. There should have. If it was a good riddle, there would be one clever difference.
I like that he's fond of Be Here Now for the animal. He's gonna be the lesbian cougar. I thought it was a pretty creative I'm voting for Be Here Now for his response.
Hold on. I'm not sure we're doing voting on this one, but hold on. Keep going with your answers. I'm going to read some out. I'm just making notes. Okay, JJ wants to be my dog from the Iggy Pop song. Fiery Footprints, wants to be a phoenix. We've got Honey Badger. Grace Hills wants to be a small animal, an ant. Consider her ways wise. She has no chief or leader, overseer or ruler, yet provides her food in the summer and gathers her supplies in the harvest. Okay, that's a nice natural sounding answer. Linda wants to be a raven or a wolf, doesn't say why. Janine Ariane wants to be an eagle. Woody wants to be a cat with servants, which would be humans, I guess. Ayuga wants to be a cat as well. Bihana wants to be a lesbian cougar. Selly wants to be the kraken. All right, so hold on. I can give a few prizes here. Let us give. Obviously, Be Here Now has to get one prize for his clever, slightly cheeky answer. Ayuga gets one, because that's a nice answer as well. Woodsy gets an answer, that's 3. Haven't heard much from Janine Ariana before, so to welcome her to the show, she's been here, I've seen her in the audience a few times. Let's give her a prize as well. So she gets one. And Fiery Footprints, a Phoenix, I like that as well. So there's 5 winners there. Cot, did you hear all that?
Who are the ones they're supposed to send me their Whaleshares username, so like I know what they want, how much, and where to send, because like I don't know that.
Okay, everybody got 50. I'm going to write it down. I can't type and talk at the same time. Fiery Footprints.
I have the other 3. I have Fiery. Oh wait, no, I didn't have those. Sorry, my bad.
Fiery Footprints, Janine Ariana, Woodsy, Be Here Now, and Ayuga. And that's 5 winners. We got all that?
They should get it because they're the ones that should send me the Whaleshares addresses that they want to get their prize.
Okay, so anyway, that's pretty much it. Oh, there's one more. Is there another post to create? Is there yours, Breeze?
I'm done. I'm done with my 2.
You've done yours? Okay. In that case, I'm going to ask Bug to tell us about his show just before we end, that's coming up in a bit. If he's there, Bug, unless you're cooking your dinner, sometimes this happens.
I am cooking my dinner, but that's okay. I've got a bit of relief from the pan. It's just chicken breasts cooking. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good to hear your voice, Bug. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Busy day here today, crazy one. But yeah, we're on for the show. I'll just grab a Discord link for you.
Sounds good. Okay, so people who aren't familiar with this, Bug and Snecky, is Snecky in here? I can't see her. Run a show that starts in about an hour, maybe a bit less.
Yeah, I don't think she's here.
And it's to promote your post show, and you get some nice fat rewards because I know Snecky's been building up her account. Bug's got a decent sized account, so you can add a fair amount to a post, and they're a nice little group as well. So there's their server. So feel free to join that. And yeah, Bug, if you want to say anything else about your show.
Yeah, you know what, and we've had lots of like tokens donated, you know, this, that, the other thing, and of course we upvote with our artist account and other accounts as well. So, yeah, it's quite a great group. You know, we've got the Indian community really comes a lot there now, and we love their watercolor paintings. We got more Spanish people are hanging out, so it's a little more multicultural, which I love. Not to say your show or any of the other ones aren't, but it seems to be a little bit of a theme for us. We don't mind if we need to take some time to translate for someone or anything like that.
Sounds good. Yeah, no, you mentioned Indian poets before, so that sounds interesting.
I don't mind Grace Hills if they, that's just the Monday Madness